Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on February 13th, 2023. So once again, as usual, going through the charts on weathercentral.d for the weather for about the rest of February really. And thankfully Weather Central have sort of got their charts together because now the hover runs really quite smoothly. There we go. The hover runs quite smoothly now, so we can use this again. So just go through the weather for the rest of February on this on these 6 runs from the Weather Central websites. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So of course, starting off with the GFS run. So starting off today, Monday, 13th of February 2023. So quite a mild and cloudy southerly wind. I know that western areas have been quite bright, but where I am in the east, it's been really quite cloudy all day. Just quite gloomy really. Not that appealing despite being mild. So as we push through into tomorrow, we see that the pressure gradually weakens from the Atlantic as some fronts come through. So as Wednesday into Thursday, especially Wednesday night, we could see quite a soaking of rain in some areas. But then after that, the high pressure you can see tries to build back up from the south. Now always mild, as you can see, with the wind in from the west. With the low pressure, with any low pressure to the north and the high pressure that will always be there to the south. So most unsettled in the north, most settled in the south, and mild other way. Mild, should I say, wherever you are. Going through till Saturday. We try to drop some cooler air into Sunday, early hours of Sunday morning. See the minus 5 Celsius ice coming through Scotland and Northumberland in England, and that tries to come through but doesn't really succeed. But we do get a bit of a cooler interval there into Sunday, and then the high pressure just comes right over us, probably bringing frost by nights, but quite decent weather by day I'd say. Possibly feeling quite spring-like, and then we stay that way through the week. That was actually quite a nice week there. So I think it should be quite cloud-free. I hope it is anyway. Yeah, look at that. We get pretty much crystal clear blue skies across the country, and with the high pressure in charge, and the upper air temperatures being mild enough, but around 2 degrees, I'd say. Cold and frosty by night. But by the day, it should feel quite pleasant in the sunshine and quite spring-like. So that's a very nice week if you've got activities planned for outdoors and things like that. So if that comes off, then happy days. Then as we push through, the high pressure just slips away further eastwards. It's allowing the wind to come up from the south. So the upper temperatures obviously lift up. And actually now that could be a very, very nice end of February. There are barely any cloud cover. You can see there, just clear, mild upper air temperatures and southerly winds. So that'd be very spring-like if that comes off. And then we head into the 28th of February and the 1st of March, heading to spring, looking very spring-like actually. Big area of high pressure over us. We could be tapping into a bit of a cooler snap from the north, but it doesn't look very, very prominent. Mild air will soon just roll over the top of the high. Let's see, again, a bit of cloud in the south, but that will clear southwards, and clearer air will come around from the west. So that looks quite good for anyone who wants some nice spring-like weather. ECM run then, so let's look at how this compares to the GFS. So again, high pressure just waning its influence a little bit. It's just moving more towards Central Europe and allowing us to waft up this wind from the south. So mild, cloudy, maybe a few patchy showers of rain in the south tonight and tomorrow, before more general rain comes in through Wednesday and Thursday. And then similar to the GFS run, the high pressure sort of always stays there to our south, trying to ridge in, and all the time just wafting this wind up from the southwest. Again, upper air temperature is about 5 degrees at 850 HP, very, very mild. Pushing through to the weekend then. Again, we try to push in a bit more of a cooler feel to the air on Sunday. Upper temperatures, yeah, we get a bit of a cold snap there, minus 5 Celsius ice into Northern Ireland. But when I say cold snap, I simply mean frosts, not anything like winter showers. They're not on the cards. And going through, we see the high pressure just sort of looking a little weaker on the ECM, but still coming in from off the Atlantic. So that looks quite spring-like. Upper temperatures cold on February 23rd, but in the strength of the sun, and if it's in the afternoon, it should feel quite nice. But frost and fog in the morning, and it can be quite sharp if the high pressure is strong enough and the air is cold enough. GEM run. So pushing through, let's see how this compares. Again, high pressure just pushing eastwards ever so slightly, allowing the for a brief period anyway, Wednesday and Thursday, rain to push off the Atlantic, a few bands of rain coming through. But then we waft up the wind again from that long fetch southwesterly wind as the high pressure tries to move back up. The Azores, this is happening again, guys. Ever since, I'd say, January 20th, we've been in this same pattern where the high pressure to our south has always been there and tried to push northwards towards us and either sit over us or sit over the Bay of Biscay or France and keep us mild and quite gloomy. And we saw this pattern, of course, from August 2021 until August 2022 or early September 2022, when it broke down really quite suddenly. We may be going back to this again, and if it continues till summer, we could be in for a big drought again, and another hot summer. Anyway, back to the weather that's coming to the for the next few days. So Sunday on the GEM looking quite westerly, dry, not as much of a cooler interval there. Upper temperatures looking really quite mild on Sunday on the GEM, and we just continue quite mild until we get to February 21st and 22nd. We start to see a bit of a cooler wind from the northwest coming. There we go. Minus 12 Celsius ice coming through the country into Wales and England by then, midnight on February 22nd. And as we push through, that turns into a bit of a northerly for a brief period before backing around to a northwesterly. But I think that's quite short-lived, as there is a warm sector in the Atlantic waiting to roll in around the high pressure. UK Met run, going through it again. High pressure just gradually sliding eastwards across Europe, and we allow for a brief time anyway, some rain and showers coming off the Atlantic before the high pressure towards the weekend shows. Actually, this UK Met run shows quite a battering for Scotland at 6 a.m. on Friday. If we just zoom in, you can see there's an area of low pressure situated in the Moray Firth, and very, very tight isobars across Scotland and northern England as well, and possibly into Ireland and northern parts of Ireland anyway. So that could be a bit of a stormy spell if that comes off, but only one model showing that. It's only the UK Met run showing that. As we push through, again the high pressure sort of tries to fight back. Although I think a little less. I think that on this run the high pressure is a bit further southwards, so like over Bay of Biscay, Channel, England, France. So we keep a bit of a cloudy, moist flow into Scotland and Ireland anyway. I think England and Wales could be quite fine with that. Icon, same story really. High pressure is slinking eastwards to allow the low pressure in off the Atlantic for a brief period before another area of high pressure around the Azores moves northwards, pushes up northwards, and we try to turn a bit more settled. Again, we see a bit of a cooler interval on Sunday. You can see that quite nicely with the upper air temperatures. And as we push through, the high pressure becomes anchored over us, and we look quite spring-like if we get some nice cloud breaks. Now let's see if we do get some nice cloud breaks. I can just put the UK on, and I can put the where are we now? Cloud cover on. So quite decent really for Leinster and East Munster of Ireland, and large parts of England and Wales with that area of high pressure. So it all depends on whether this high is present on the cloud amounts, because the GFS shows very little clouds. I think the ECM does as well. I think the GEM may show a little bit more. It just depends on the cloud amounts that determine whether it feels spring-like or not. So let's hope for a bit of sunshine out there. Then finally the arpege run. We will look at this, and then again high pressure just sliding eastwards before the low pressure briefly attacks on the Atlantic, showing a bit of this run actually is also showing a bit of a fierce little isolated low across Scotland there on Thursday night, early hours of Friday morning. That's one thing to watch if that comes off, but then that sort of slides away, comes through a storm across the Baltic Sea by Saturday, and then that's really quite nasty. But for us, we got this high pressure over France, and around it we drag the wind in from the southwest, mild and dry for next weekend, for Saturday anyway. It may be a bit cooler for Sunday, and of course we can't see into March through these models, because that's an important time, because that is when we may start seeing the effects of an SSW that's happening pretty much right now. I'll have an update on that tomorrow, as well as a usual video like this. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye for now.